Okay, so welcome back to my sweet and humble channel. If you followed the series so far, that's good for you because by now we're almost done creating our first game in Unity, which is good for all of us, especially for those who have been following. If you have not followed my series or these tutorials, make sure you watch my previous videos so you can catch up to us. So in today's video, like I promised, no, actually, before we do that, let me just say something. For those of you who have watched this video and you're interested in most of my content or have seen any of my content, make sure you hit that red button down below so that you don't forget. You get notified. When I at least post new videos. If you're interested in my content, really, guys, thank you for following it this far. So for today's video, what we said we were going to do is actually we're going to create a UI for our game over, and also we're going to make this floor game objects kind of get destroyed. So like for today, I don't think we need to recap what we did in our last video. Let's just get straight into the point. So back here in Unity, this is what we have. You can see when I play the game now, we're already making progress. The only thing which we're going to add right now, or we actually have a long way to go, but I'm not really going to dwell on that. What we need now is gravity, because our game objects are coming in together, and which is a good thing. So I'm going to add gravity, and I'm going to be destroying these floor or tiled game objects when they touch our spikes, because we don't want our scene to be crowded. Now, so let's go back into our spawner. And I find that it spawns a little bit too fast, so I'm going to change this wait for seconds to 2 seconds. So this would be it, and then I'm going to save this now. It's going to spawn just in good time, or with the time I want it to spawn anyway. So we've done that. And still with my error, but don't worry about this. Like I said in my last video, it just happens. It's part of a compiling issue or something like that though. So for our player right now, we're going to come into our rigid body. We're going to give it gravity. Watch what happens now. I just gave it gravity. I did not change anything, so I'm going to play my game. Oh, so I need to fix this error. I'll be back in just a few minutes now. And there we go, the error has been fixed. So now with our gravity turned on, let's play this game object, or this game rather. Let's see what happens now. So we can see our gravity is applied, but for some reason it takes the floor down with it. And when I double click our player, you can see it should show in our game tab, but it's not showing actually because it's falling way too fast for the camera to fix its eyes upon. Anyways, you can now, I know in your mind you're being curious about what's happening, so let me explain what just happened. When I turned on gravity, okay, these are the default settings for gravity anyways, in our game. So the main thing we need to look at right here would be our mass. What is mass? You can ask is it's the quantity of matter in a body. That's the scientific definition anyways, but that we're not doing a physics class right now. So our mass now, which is set to 1, it means it gives it a weight more than our floor, or it can be equal to, but when it's falling, that definitely there would be a particular velocity, so to speak, that would be applied on it while falling down. So it gives it more weight or more advantage over this. Because if a heavy body is falling down from the sky, you two people might be the same weight, so to speak, but if it falls down, definitely it's going to hurt. You get my point anyways. So I know you do, because you're smart and you are watching this YouTube video, so that's good for us. Anyways, so for our player now, let's go back to him. Taking the use gravity, and we're going to reduce this mass, which is the quantity of matter. So we're going to set it to something like 0.05. and then let's enter with this. So let's try it now and see what happens. So now that we've reduced the weight, actually you can see it's better off right now. It bounces off a bit, but that's because of the collider anyways. But it's okay now. You can see that it actually has some weight, which is good for us. So let's take this out. Game over, game over. Yeah, we know, and we're going to arrange that very soon. So let's override this, because this is the setting which we want, and that takes care of our gravity. For our floor right now, I'm going to restrain it to not move on my X position, strictly on the Y. This also I'm going to override, which would be good for me because I just want a vertical movement, not horizontal. So I think we're going somewhere now. Spawning of the tiles are okay. Our player now has gravity, and so what we would do now is destroy this floor game object which touches our tile, and we're going to see or look at another problem. So we're going to learn another thing new, something about prefabs anyway. But for now, let's go into our project. We're already in the scripts folder, and let's go to the elevate. I could create a script for this, but it should be okay inside our elevate. And this is the script for our floor, for those of you who may have forgotten, or for those who did not watch our last video anyways. But that doesn't matter now, because right now we're going to check or detect collision. So this will be void on collision, enter, and same as previous collision. So we could name this whatever we want, collision. So rather than name this code, let me change the name to let's say heat. um, it's okay, this can be okay too. So we're going to check right now if our heat dot game object dot tag is equal to um what was the name, obstacle, right? Yeah, I think the tag was tagged as obstacle, right? Obstacle, which is good. Then we want to destroy this game object. So and the line of code for doing that is to type in destroy, then inside bracket we're going to put game object. So this should be okay. Now let's close this with the semicolon, and let's save this and go back into Unity. So let's wait for it to compile. So now let's play this and see what happens. You can see the game object falls off, right? And what else happens? Our player gets destroyed for some reason, even though it did not collide with it. And what else? Our player gets destroyed, and the floor also gets destroyed. And the floor has an explanation, but for some reason our player is also getting destroyed. So let me see what I did wrong. Uh, is my player getting destroyed? So actually the player didn't get destroyed, but our floor gets destroyed, and then we start getting these errors, missing reference, exception. And let me explain this right now. So under our spawn, if I should play this game again, we can notice something about it. So our player is dead, and you can see that now that that floor gets destroyed, here it shows missing game object. For some reason, you can see it keeps on printing out this error, that missing reference exception. So the reference we are missing now is the game object which got destroyed. When I exited the game, or when I exit the game, you can see that the floor is back here, so which is good, but it's not good for the game once this first floor gets destroyed. And the reason why this is because rather than make a reference to the prefab in our project, which is this floor, I used this floor in the game scene. And whenever you do this, once this object gets destroyed, then you have no reference to the prefab. Or now, if I should take this prefab and drag this inside here, which replaces it, and I play this game, we can see the difference. So up, and you can see my game feels like a game, which is good for me, right? Yeah, I knew that that would definitely feel like a game. So you can see that now when I replaced this floor, or when I put this floor in, it no longer stops showing that error for missing reference, but it keeps going on with my game, which is a good thing for me. Now let's jump into creating a quick game over menu before our time goes off. We've lost track of time, or we've lost a lot of time. Anyways, let me keep quiet and get into work. So this should be okay. Let's see. So what I'll do now is I'm going to create an empty game object. I'm going to come here and name this game manager. Nope. Let's call this UI manager. Manager. Going to reset this, and inside my UI manager, I'm going to create another game object. This time a UI, and let's see. Do I put? Let's put in a canvas first of all. And something to keep an eye on is this event system. Always remember that if you should delete this by mistake, just don't ever delete this, or else you will just keep struggling with your UI, and at the end of the day you can see that it won't give you the result which you want anyways. So this is my UI. Event system is active. Inside this canvas now I'm going to put in do I really need an image? Let's say let's try an image, raw image anyways. So let's drag this up to fill our screen. This direction also, fill the screen, fill this part of the screen also. So under this now we're going to create a button. So let's leave this button the way it is for now. Let's finish editing our image anyways. So we have our first button. Let's come here. Let me name this under the text. Let me call this what do I say now? Let's say restart. So this is our basic UI for now anyways. Let's try and cover this up before time runs out. This would be the UI. This is our UI manager. Now let's go into our scripts folder. Let's create a new C# script. Let's call this UI manager. So let me double tap this. and I'll see you in Visual Studio as usual, right? Yeah, definitely. So inside Visual Studio now, let's get to work. What we do now is under this using Unity engine, we go in under and we type in using Unity engine dot UI. So this would give us access to the UI which we want to use. And let me make a public reference to this. Public, let's call this game object. What do I call this now? Game object. Let me just say game over. Game over UI. So this is it, and what I would do now is create. Let me delete this. We don't need them now. So delete this. I'll create a basic method or function for it. This would be public void game over. So coming into my game over method, the simple thing which I'm going to do now is to type in game over UI dot set active, and inside bracket we're going to set this to true. So let's save this and go into our movement. That is the script on top our player, of course. So here we created an if statement saying if it should collide with an obstacle with a tag with the name obstacle anyways, we should debug.log game over. But now what we want to do is we want to find object of type. This would be our UI manager, and let's put it this way, and dot game over. So we want to execute this method game over. Let's close this with a semicolon, save this, and let's go back into Unity now. And so when it's done compiling, now we can drag our UI manager into our game object UI manager. So let's click this and drag this inside here, and what we drag into our game over UI would now be this image. So I would select the image and deactivate it or set it to not active, and then I'll drag this image inside my public reference to it. So when I play this game now, and there we go. So this concludes it for this video. We can see that it displays the UI but still has an issue with pausing the video completely. Anyways, that would be for our next video. So if you enjoyed this video, the usual, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done that yet. I really need it, and then I will see you in my next video. See you next time.